Hi creative friends, this is Freya and thank you so much for being here. So this is part 2 of my working in my Strathmore mixed media journal, and I left it alone. It's completely dry and there's so much about this that I'm really loving. Like I love the brown paper over here and here and here. It just gives it such a grungy kind of a, I don't know what the word is, but I just love it. It's so delicious, and just look at that. And then I also put tea bags on the when I was making my collage, like when I made my first layers. I put tea bags and just so much delicious goodness going on. So what I decided to do is I was looking at it before I turned the camera on, and I want to bring in some pinks and maybe some yellows. Like I know there's a lot of yellow, but I think I want to bring in like more of a like a darker kind of a yellow, like say this yellow over here. And I have my luminous opera, and I also have a it's kind of like a magenta, and it's almost done, and I got that from Oaxaca. So I think I'm gonna kind of put some of the pinks in here because I need to differentiate this figure from this figure over here. And right now they're too much alike. So because this has pink over here, I think I'm gonna bring in some beautiful pink. And I don't know yet what I want to do with the faces. I don't know if I want to keep them like that, or if I want to like put more of a solid face on there with features, like facial features and everything. And I've mentioned this before, but when I don't know what I want to do, like I'll just leave it alone. Like there's no rush to get, this done. Like it's gonna just happen whenever it happens. So I mean, I've been working on this journal for, I have no idea how long, so there's no rush at all. I'm gonna put another layer of this burnt sienna with my cashew chalk paint because I just want to get a really luminous kind of a face. I don't want any of the, I don't want any of the lines and collage from what was on the page to show through. And I'm gonna bring some of that pink into the mix there. And now I'm gonna bring some of this pink into the face over there. And this is like a very abstract face right now, so I'm not really concerned about it. But I'm really loving that now. See, so because I kind of like, I kind of, I kind of muted this a bit, and I provided a contrast between these two figures here. And I'm sorry if you can hear Maxie barking. He is probably barking at some squirrels or chipmunks or something. So I'm gonna drag that. Ooh, I love that. And I just feel like that kind of really, like, put some pop into the page. Now, I was showing you guys how I make my collage. So I have a little bit of paint on my brush here, and I'm just gonna drag it through here. Now, one of the things I just want to point out is it's not only that I'm not just doing this not to waste paint. Yeah, sure, that is one of the reasons. But another reason is, like, I am using so many colors that I wouldn't normally use together, like, because I'm working on different spreads and different paintings. So on my collage paper, I'm going to get colors that I don't normally use together. And that's where I think a lot of the magic can happen, because you just never know what is going to happen. Like, I hope I'm explaining myself correctly, because, you know, I lay down some of these colors from a completely different spread. So I had a different color palette, and this color palette is, you know, I'm using magenta and pink. And so now I'm mixing things on the collage paper that I wouldn't normally mix together. And that's going to make for some really interesting things to happen. And that's how I make my collage. So even though I did post a video how I make my collage, I was mostly talking in that video, but you know, it's very hard for me to show you how I make my collage in real time, because this is really how I do it. I'm working on completely different spreads, and you know, so I'm working on this spread, and then I have my book there, so I go into my collage book, and then I'm working on a completely different spread. So I think by me showing this way, this is how I really do it. And in that video, I was talking about it more than showing you. So I hope I'm making sense. Sometimes when I explain things, I'm like, am I even explaining myself correctly? So I'm going to drag some of the yellow in here. Now that's going to turn green over there. That turned green, but that's okay. And I want to like kind of like, I want to move my eye around the page. So yellow, 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 and maybe a little bit of yellow there. Just a little touch. So I think what I'm going to do is I am going to add another layer of the blue, just because I want it to be kind of solid. And I'm really loving the addition of the magenta and the pink, like the luminous opera, because I feel like it really lifted the page. And I also love the yellow too. Now this orange is not the, like, it is the Cad Red Light by Liquitex, but it kind of got gringed up, which I'm really loving. And this is a direct reflection of when I worked in my color journal, and I did an orange and blue spread. And what I realized is I really do love the like gringiness of orange as well. Like, I love the brightness of it, but I also love it when it's all like really gringy and neutralized. So when I was working in, and let me see if I have that journal with me. So when I was working on this spread over here, see, I know that I like the really pop of orange, but over here it all got really gringy with the graphite, and I realized like, hey, I really love that. So that's another great reason to work in a color journal and experiment, because, you know, those lessons are going to carry over into when you do go into your art journal and work, because you're going to be like, hey, I remember that. I really like that, you know, gringy orange. And that's what I have going on here. And I think I actually might even add some graphite to it. Now I'm really loving this. I'm really, like, my eye is just going from this to this to this to this to this, because there's so much interest over here and over here. So I'm really loving that. And I'm gonna bring some graphite into this area right here. And this is just my Stabilo in all black. And I'm just gonna kind of gringe it up a little bit there. And you guys, I'm really, really, super, really loving this spread. It's just got so much juiciness to it. Ooh, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So that's kind of bleeding. So I'm just gonna kind of... Okay, you guys, I'm gonna leave this, and I think I'm gonna come back when it's dry, and I think there's gonna be a part 3. But if you've watched all the way to the end, thank you so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.